Camera 3. We'll be back with news for seniors right after we hear from Mr. Rich down there at the end with his reviews. Rich, it's your
Thank
turn.
you, my dear boy. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if this is an autobiographical piece or not by the author Samuel Beckett, written in 1958, but one thing, this one-man show has the best local actor to play in Crapp's last tape. He's Brian Hemmingson at Keegan's New Island Project, a theater on the run and 4 Mile Run in Arlington. This hulking, brooding 69-year-old Crap, spelled with a K, Hemmingson, plays it, sits at a desk with a low light over him, hanging over his head. He looks at the audience for a heck of a long time without saying a word, and then he speaks. He finally moves, he goes behind the set and comes out with a bunch of tins of reel-to-reel tapes. I mean, a whole bunch of them, and they fall on the floor, the whole bit. Then he picks up a tape player, one of these reel-to-reel tape players, and they're heavy, and tries to carry it and falls across the stage with it and then back again. It's funny. I understand. I didn't know this, but Beckett was into slapstick and Laurel and Hardy stuff. Anyway, it's good. It'll play through March 14, 703-892-0222. Wait a minute, 0202. You got that? 892-0202. And check their website, Keegan Theater, with an RE.com. Kick Butt Woman, Mujeres al Poder, is a U.S. premiere put on by Teatro del Luna at the Gunston Arts Center through March 7. This is a satirical farce written by Frenchman Jean Canol and adopted by Teatro's artistic director Mario Marcel. It's about a ruler in the Middle Ages, Count Leofric, played by Peter Pereira, who in confrontation with his subjects said he would lower the taxes if his wife, Lady Godiva, played by Annabella Marcano, would ride a horse naked through the streets. It's a funny marital discord, believe me. Godiva says she'll do the buff business, but, well, you see for yourself what happens. Teatro's next show is Don't Wear Black Tie. It's about a 1960 workers' strike. It's some humor in that, though, too. Anyway, they do good stuff. 703-548-3092, and the web is teatrodelaluna.org. Leading Ladies is another delightful farce by famed local playwright Ken Ludwig, and being produced by the Little Theater of Alexandria. Set in New York, Pennsylvania in the summer of 1958, two out-of-work Shakespearean male actors read about an elderly woman who's going to kick the bucket. And the actors, Leo, played by Charles Boyington, and Jack, played by Brandon DeGroat, discover the relatives are nieces. So these guys go in drag. And, well, they meet this one gal who's legitimately supposed to get a $3 million inheritance, Meg, played by Rachel Hubbard. But these guys want to cash in and get a couple of that $1 million out of there. Leading Ladies is very interesting. It runs through March 14. LTA, call 703-683-0496 for info and tickets. The web, littletheaterofalexandria.com. The Shakespeare Theater Company in the district at the Landsberg location is presenting The Dog in the Manger by Spain's most prolific playwright, Lope de Vega, who died in 1635. The title comes from the Aesop fable, which tells if a dog doesn't want to eat some food, he doesn't want you to eat it either. You know, it's one of these things. Well, this is the meat of the comedy at the Landsberg. Countess Diana is played by Michelle Hurd. The secretary is Teodoro, played by Michael Hayden. Had a nighttime fling with one of Diana's ladies in waiting. Anyway, it's one of these things, you know, fooling around, horsing around, a lot of laughs, which the Shakespeare does well. That's through March 29. Call 202-547-1122 and their website. Always look those things up. Shakespeare Theater with an RE.org. Hey, where am I now? One little last thing. Hey, last night I walked into the Warner Theater downtown at 513 13th Street in the district, and Chaz Palminteri, you guys know him from Sopranos, and he's doing Bronx Tale, a New York classic. So he stands up there and he does like, you know what it looks like. Here's a face. I don't know if anybody can take a look at it. He does his right. He does his bit talking like Brooklyn guys. I don't know these guys that talk from Brooklyn. I don't understand them. You know what I mean? Anyway, he's up there talking, and interesting if you want to see a little exaggeration of how the Brooklyn guys act, because generally we're very refined people. Generally. The phone number for the Warner Theater, now they play through March 8th, is 202-783-4000, and check their website to tell you more about this thing, the Warner Theater with an RE.com. It's Chaz Palminteri, and this is a interesting chance without having to go to Brooklyn to see this guy. Now, he's not from Brooklyn, he's from the Bronx, but who knows the difference, right? They still make good pizza everywhere. Okay, that's it. Cheerio, Rich Massabny. Till next time.
Thanks, Rich. So what do you want for refinement, you know?
Yeah.
What am I refining?
I mean,
like oil? What am I? Oil? What?
That's right.
Oil!
I can't be any more refined than I am now.
All right.
What do you want from me?
Thank you, Rich, and thanks again to George for Glass's support here. Up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News, our News for Seniors segment. All right, here we go.